Hello YouTubers, I'm Survival1. Today I'd like to do a review on one of my favorite video games of all time, and that is Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is one of the best games that I ever played. Actually one of the best survival horror games I played, next to House of the Dead and Devil May Cry. Alright. Before I get deeper into what I think about the game and all, I'm going to start off with what the game's about. Okay, it's 2004. The President of the United States' daughter, which her name is Ashley Graham, gets kidnapped by these group of religious people that come from Spain, and they're known as the Los Illuminados. And Leon S. Kennedy hears about this, and Leon has to go all the way to Spain in order to save her, because that's where she was last spotted at. Now, Leon looks very different from what he did in Resident Evil 2, and his occupation is different too. Okay, he's not a police officer anymore like he was in Resident Evil 2, in which that's obvious because in Resident Evil 3, Raccoon City got blown up, so no, he's not a police officer anymore. He works as a U.S. government agent, and he has to protect the president's family, and he gets a chance to do that in this game. So he has to walk around this village that is filled with these humans, not zombies, humans, who are infected by some sort of parasite, and it's called the Las Plagas. And even though they're not zombies, they behave like them because the Las Plagas are possessing them. And alright, that's it with the storyline. Alright, I want to go over the gameplay. The gameplay is excellent. I mean, it's flawless. You just walk around in a very nice and steady pace. You can walk slow, but I prefer you walk in a nice steady pace. And also the aiming is really great. I mean, and unlike the previous Resident Evil games, which those games were pre-rendered, I mean, this one you can aim perfectly at an enemy. You can do a headshot really easily, and it makes the game a little easier, yet a little more challenging, because sometimes when you do headshot an enemy, that Las Plagas parasite comes out of his head, and you have to kill it off in order to fully kill the enemy. In which I kind of like that. It makes the game more challenging. And also the boss battles in the game are just, they're brutal. Like for example, when you fight that giant when you're in the village, excuse me. I mean, it's really difficult. He's really difficult to fight. Now, here's a little like shortcut I have for this boss battle. You can actually use a rocket launcher. You can buy a rocket launcher from the merchant. And you can literally just blast it at the giant, and he'll just die. I mean, almost every boss in the game can get killed automatically just by one shot of a rocket launcher. In which, actually that makes the game a little easier. But the hard part about it is that you have to have enough money to get the rocket launcher. And also you have to make sure you have enough space in your box in order to place the rocket launcher in there. So yes, it takes a little sacrifice. Also, the puzzles are really challenging. Like, for example, the puzzle you have to do when you play as Ashley inside a castle. That's the best puzzle in the game because it was easy. I mean, it was hard. I mean, it really required you to think. Alright? Like, which tile should I put here? Which tile should I put there? Like, I like that. It requires you to think. But what else I liked? I liked the graphics. The graphics were beautiful for a GameCube game. I mean, because most GameCube games don't have really good graphics, but this game did. Like, they're just astonishing. They looked almost realistic. Like the village, it looked just like a village in real life. And the castle, I mean, it looked astonishing. I mean, and everything looked dark and murky, and that's a good feel to a horror game. It should have dark and murky atmosphere. Also, speaking of the atmosphere, the music also described the atmosphere. Like, the music was really quiet, cold, and yet scary. That's what it should be in a horror game. You should have scary, yet cold and quiet music. I mean, it really made me feel like that I was in the game. Also, I like to go over the storyline. The storyline was excellent. I loved the storyline. I mean, now I know a lot of people were really disappointed at this game just because you couldn't fight zombies. That you're fighting humans that were infected by insects or locusts, I should say. Which they did the same thing with Resident Evil 5. They said that it wasn't good because of the fact that there was no zombies in the game. Now, I'd say that I have not played Resident Evil 5, and I'm really not expecting to, because I've seen gameplay footage of it, and I was like, this doesn't look really Resident Evil-ish to me. Now, 4, despite the fact it wasn't like 1, 2, and 3 really much, it was still Resident Evil to me. Even though there weren't zombies in the game. Alright. But overall, I would like to give this game a 10 out of 10 because everything about it was good. Alright. That's all I have to say about the game and all. Hope you enjoyed this review. And I'm Survival 1 and signing off. Have a nice day.